return to the final, and an epic Game 6 awaits us.
It all goes down tonight. Game 6, it's win or go home for Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. And these are the games that make stars. This is where pressure can make a gem of a game. This series, it's taught us that Wemby, he needs to be that superstar for San Antonio, because you can see right here, in their wins, he's dominated, right? To the tune of 37 points, 16 rebounds a game. But in losses, those numbers have dropped to 22-9. He will need to be exceptional to force a Game 7 against the Thunder, who are now just one win away from their second straight finals appearance. And in this era of parity, the last team to do that, remember, it was the Warriors, who made 5 straight between 2015 and 2019. And health has just been such a huge factor in this series. So for more on the health of the Stars in Game 6, we say hello to our senior insider, Shams Charania. Shams, what can you tell us about the likelihood that Jalen Williams is going to be available for this game?
Malika, Jalen Williams' status, as it's been ever since he suffered his second hamstring strain to the same hamstring in just under 1 month. It is very much up in the air tonight and moving forward here in this series if it does require a Game 7. He is doing more and more and progressing more and more in his pregame workouts, his workouts off of team activities, at least for the public. But to have the second strain to the same hamstring just under 1 month just speaks to the severity of what this is and how sensitive and how tricky an injury like this can be. And we know Oklahoma City Thunder as an organization have always been cautious, and especially for a player like J-Dub, who has dealt with multiple different hamstring issues over the course of the season. He's now just 1 week out. This is typically an injury that is measured in weeks, not just days.
Yeah, and you have to imagine feeling like they're 1 win away, having gotten this far without Jalen Williams. There's no A.J. Mitchell in this game as well. If it means getting him a little bit more time, that they can rest him and heal him, if they feel confident, they're going to give him as much time as he can possibly take. Shams, thank you very much for that insight here. This series, it has been back and forth. We've seen nail biters. We have seen excellent games. I mean, what a series this has been. And that is with the SGA struggling a little bit by his standards. Because, yes, he scored 26 a game, including 32 in Game 5. But the double teams have been giving him a little bit of trouble. Again, heavy on the little bit of trouble here. Wemby, meanwhile, he is the first player here to average 25 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks a game during a 5-game span of the conference finals since another Spurs great did it, Tim Duncan. That was back in 2023. But really, when you look at his numbers, as we showed early in the show, it's been feast or famine for him, which makes the bench scoring, right, all that more important. The Thunder bench has scored over twice as many points as the Spurs bench in this series. OKC's 51.4 bench points a game. That's on pace to be the most in conference finals history. As we say hello to our senior writer, Brian Windhorst, our do-it-all analyst, Chiney Agumake. It's going down, Brian. We have a Game 6 night. Why did I say that like the fan? It's going down, Brian.
It's going down.
It's going down, Brian.
There
Less
we go.
Stewie, a little bit more importance of the
You
game.
did sound like Stewie from Family Guy.
It's called a tan, Brian. Let's get back on track to this Game 6. If you're looking at the Oklahoma City Thunder being able to close this out, Mr. Windhorst, what's it going to take?
Shai is in hell. UK, you say he's struggling, and I agree, but he has never had a series where he has been this demanded from on offense. When you look at Stephon Castle in front of him most of the time, with Victor Wembanyama as the backline defense, with help coming from other players with size, he is having to work so hard, and it shows in his stats. We're talking about a player, Malika, who has shot over 50% and scored over 30 points a game for 4 straight years. In this series, he's shooting under 40% and averaging only 26 because this is such a fight. And it's really a joy to watch. I know people out there, some people are counting how many times he falls and whatever. I think this is absolute strength on strength. The 2-time MVP at the top of his game going against the unanimous Defensive Player of the Year and his band of merry mates who fights him every possession without A.J. Mitchell, without Jalen Williams. And he's really relying on Cason Wallace and Alex Caruso,
right.
2 guys who are not normally primary ball handlers, who've been promoted. Cason Wallace had the most assists he's had in any game in the playoffs last game, in the vital Game 5. And then Alex Caruso had 8 total assists in the first 4 games of the series, had 6 in Game 5 alone because he was trying to create to help Shai out. It is taking a village to beat this powerful Spurs defense.
What's interesting, Wendy, is that last year in their path to the NBA Finals and winning a championship, we saw that Shai's going to get to his numbers. He's going to be the MVP. He's going to be the top dog. But J-Dub emerged as a certified number 2 option, averaging over 20 points in that series versus the Indiana Pacers.
He won them game 5.
Exactly, completely. And different players, that's a perfect segue, have won them games, albeit role players playing like all-stars in the moments that demand it. In game 1, it was Alex Caruso. That was like the game 1. Even though they didn't win, you're still seeing big performances. Finally, the number 2 showed up, right? Chet Holmgren. He's going to be critical. He finally got a double-double, 16 and 11. But it's more than that, because on the road, your supporting cast has to make shots. No better example of this than Chet Holmgren showing up on the road. But also, let me add into the conversation, into the group chat, Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso at home has averaged 23 points per game, shooting 58% from 3. On the road, though, 7.5 points per game. And so there's a drastic difference on how these guys are shooting the ball to provide help for Shai to not feel all of that pressure.
And I don't think history in this case maybe is the best indicator of how tonight is going to go. But we did see the Thunder play a couple of 7-game series last season on their way to a championship. They were not good, Brian, in Game 6 against Denver. That was on the road. They were not good in Game 6 against the Indiana Pacers. That was on the road. And the last time that we saw all of these role players that Shanae is talking about back in San Antonio, a lot of them, Alex Caruso chiefly, really struggled in this game, knowing that it's not likely that J-Dub's going to play, knowing that there is no A.J. Mitchell. How can they make an adjustment there?
They were not good in Game 4 in this series the last time they played in San Antonio.
Exactly.
So I would agree with you. And so like they are going to need some energy early on from Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein were able to outplay Victor Wembanyama in Game 5. I'm not saying that's going to happen again, but if you look at Chet Holmgren and Hartenstein, I believe they outscored Wembanyama and they out-rebounded him together. It's going to take a team effort, but I love the way that Chet came into that game with a scorer's mindset. He has got to apply pressure to get some of the attention off of Shai, because Shai is struggling to breathe. I am actually very impressed with the numbers that Shai is putting up, and especially on the road where you can't necessarily count on those role players. Count on your other All-NBA guy.
You know what's crazy, Wendy? What you say about Shai can be applied to Victor. Struggling to breathe. The physicality, you know, the way that they've gravitated to him. We have this new stat, gravity, right? Victor Wembanyama cannot breathe. We saw that in Game 5 in the same way that SGA is dealing with double teams, and that's why we're seeing some of those slow starts. And for me, it just comes down to how you style the game. Victor, to me, he was fatigued. That was a fatigue game. He did not have his legs. We saw that on the three-point shot. He was over 5 from 3. He got stuffed on some dunks, right? He should be more rested, but both guys play inside out, despite being a guard and a post player. In Game 1, Victor Wembanyama had 6 dunks, I believe. Now, in the last game, in the last win, he had 4 dunks.
Right.
Whenever he dunks the ball more, his team wins more. Go on the inside, similar to Shai. Shai has to be able to score in transition before the defense gets set up.
Right.
So it's interesting to see a guard and a post have similar pathways for success.
But as much as we talk about Shai struggling offensively, what we really mean is he's struggling to score, because he is averaging 10 assists, right, a game. And so that would be, nearly 10 assists in the conference final. So while his scoring is down, the playmaking is there. It's just that the other guys have to capitalize on that.
Yeah, the playmaking is hot and cold based off of his teammates being able to shoot. And we tend to see this hot and cold where it's cold on the road and hot at home. Because what does Perk say? Perk's not on the show, but role players play better at home. He's not lying. He's been saying it for a very long time.
That was very good.
But that is, was that good?
Yeah, that was good.
But that is absolutely the truth. And so I think for Shai, again, beating the defense down the floor and attacking there, what's crazy is that Victor is always looming. And sometimes the looming works to Shai's benefit so he can pass. But when it doesn't, that's where he has to look to capitalize. But like, this is the first time we're seeing Victor Wembanyama in a postseason.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He is the help side defender coming to slow Shai down. No one designed in basketball can do that better than Victor.
Yeah, and Victor is going to have to be that superstar that we saw in Game 1, that superstar that we saw in Game 3 in order to force a Game 7 in this series. We're going to dive much more into this Game 6 as NBA Today rolls on, but we just got some news a couple of minutes ago out of the NBA Board of Governors meeting. They just held a vote on a major overhaul for the draft lottery system. We're going to tell you the results of that vote, what it means for tanking, coming up here in just a little bit. And yes, much much more on Game 6 because it could hinge, right, Shannon, on another otherworldly game from Victor Wembanyama. How can the French phenom force a Game 7 here? And yes, let's get to the New York Knicks as well because they've always had star power. So what exactly